Hey guys, welcome to another voice blog. Today I want to talk about finding the bite. So usually as singers we've got this choice between singing light and free or singing heavily and feeling like doesn't feel so good, feels a bit pushed, feels a bit squeezed. What we're looking to do is really looking to combine the sense of freedom with that bite. So how do we do that? First, we've got to prioritise freedom above power, and this requires discipline really in your practice, because most people want to rush towards power and rush towards sounding good as quickly as possible. So, prioritising freedom and connection first requires you to be vulnerable and to allow your voice to break, which isn't usually the first thing that people want to do when they warm up. Let yourself break. Let your voice flip, do whatever it wants to do. People are like, why would I want to do that? Well, if you want to find real connection, the secret is just to allow yourself to break at the earliest possible opportunity. Well, really, you won't even be breaking, because you'll just be letting the voice do what it wants to do and what it was built to do, which is thin out as you go higher. So, rather than this sensation, rather than this happening, what we want to do is go back down there. Where are we? Go back down there, and if you're a guy around middle C or just below, let that start happening right then. Now you notice, because I allowed my voice to start breaking low down and just allowed it to happen, there was no sense of having to drop weight. Yeah, it was light. Yeah, it was not necessarily the sound I'm going to sing with at all times, but it was connected and it was free. So my first priority is to just find that, and we can do things like you can do a lip roll on an octave, and as you go up, just let your voice break. And that exercise is particularly good because it almost feels like every time you do it, your voice is breaking. If it was pulled up, it just won't work. There's not enough time to take up weight because you're just flipping, you're letting the voice coordinate. And as you, on any two pitches that you're doing that, you're just doing the same thing, just allowing the voice to coordinate. If you allow it to coordinate, you can't really have a break, because a break is really a lack of understanding in a singer. It is essentially this idea they have that they've got to take up chest voice, and at some point around E, F, F sharp, or wherever it is that they think their first bridge is, they drop all that weight. They break. Rather than just allowing the voice to transition as and when it wants to, they hold on to it, and then they have to dump all that at the last minute. So we don't want that. So the first two things we've got to have is that freedom and connection. And sometimes what you'll find is, when you start this, you'll kind of have it will go all shaky, because you'll be like, oh, I really, really want to hold on there. But allow yourself to let go of that. Now, as we find the bite, or we move towards finding more of a singing sound, more bite, how do we do that? Well, we find that release on each exercise, and then we just add to it. That's it. Just like if I was doing ma 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 just like in chest voice, I just add a tiny bit of that. It's not much, it's not usually as people get up higher, they add so much of that. Everything's got to grab, everything's got to hold on because they've got to sound big. It's just a little bit, just like in chest voice, but I'm combining that with that sense of release and that sense of connection that we just spoke about. So you can do an exercise like So again, it's not really my singing sound, but it's a functional sound. I'm finding that freedom, but as I find it with that staccato slide, you'll notice I've got that same happening in head voice now, rather than it just being ma 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 ma, without any sense of that closure happening. So I'm finding a bit of that closure with this exercise. Yeah? Now how do I build on that? Well, I could go on to a nay exercise and just take that same sense of connection through. Nay, 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 nay. Nay, 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 nay. Yeah? You notice that they're basically in the same spot. I'm just taking that connection I've found and putting the nay where that is. Now, that's not my singing sound, yeah, you'd say, but all we need to do at that point, once we've found that, is just darken the vowel and make it more neutral or more in the middle, more something that is a common kind of singing sound. So we can go na 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 mum mum mum, yeah? But we put the mum in the same spot. Nay, 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 mum 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 mum. Nay, 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 mum 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 mum. Nay, 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 mum 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 mum. Nay, 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 mum 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 mum. Sorry, wrong note. Nay, 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 mum 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 mum. Nay, 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 mum 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 mum. Nay, 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 mum 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 mum. Back to there, yeah? So you can see how through just a short progression of exercises, I found freedom and connection first, then I found a little bit of bite, then I've just lent on that bite. I've just lent on it and allowed my voice to come to me, rather than ramming up there and saying, oh yeah, that's where my voice breaks, like adding loads of extra tension and squeeze. So what I wanted to get across in this video is, if you prioritize freedom and connection first in your workout or your practice, whatever you want to call it, then come at finding your mix or your powerful sound from that foundation. So allowing your voice to break and sit in the right spot first, then adding to that, adding more presence in a progression of exercises. The end result is what you'll find is you'll have, compared to if you just went straight in there with the big sound, the end result will be that you have this combination or this sense of combining freedom and power rather than this separation between freedom and power where you feel like, oh, I've got to either choose to break or flip a little bit and have this light sound, or I can take up some power but it always feels a bit squeezy. You can then combine the two and you'll have that freedom and the connection in one. You won't have to compromise anymore because you will have both kinds of functions together and as one. Your voice becomes one at that point. So, of the three things, you've got to prioritize connection and freedom, or freedom first, connection second, then power. Yeah? If you follow those three in that order, and you look for progressions of exercises that can help you move in that direction in that order, then you are much, much more likely to find a balanced sound and a sound that you can depend on and a refined sound. You know, if you're singing something like R&B, you can't get away with pulling up chest. If you're singing rock, you can. You can get away with it being a bit grindy, a bit overly squeezed. So depending on the style you're singing, this is going to be, you know, more or less important. But I would say even as a rock singer, this is basic foundational stuff that if you haven't really got, then you're either going to run into voice problems at some point or you're just never really going to master your voice completely. Anyway, have a great day, guys. I hope this has helped you. Look for that freedom, look for that connection, look for that power, and sing great. Take care. See you again. Bye-bye.